How you deliver your online coaching service will make or break whether you're going to make it in this industry. Now, one of the problems is going from being a personal trainer to an online coach is actually massive in the kind of things that you need to think about and do to run your business and get your clients results. So what we're going to break down in this video is exactly how I go through my online coaching process in order to make sure that people get an amazing service, refer the friends, give me a great reputation, and therefore my business will continue to grow. My name is Steve McGrath. I was one of the biggest online fitness coaches in the UK up until about a couple of years ago when I started to teach other personal trainers how to do the same as I had. I've coached over 2,000 online fitness clients, and I have helped my clients create over 45 million in revenue for their businesses. But the main thing is I was a school teacher, I have a degree in education and also in exercise science, so I think I'm uniquely suited to talk through this particular part of the business for you. So in this video, I'm going to walk through how to onboard a client, how to get the client through their first week of coaching, how often to check in, what your client communication should look like, and how to make sure they get the very best service possible. So let's jump in. Okay, first thing, onboarding. I see this done incredibly poorly by people. And I think it's not because you decide to do it poorly, but because you don't understand how people take in and learn information. So what I see a lot of coaches do is they will do an application form where they'll take in all the client's details. They will then write a plan, usually without speaking to the client between that point, and then they will send the plan over. And then what they will usually do is they'll create maybe an explanation video around the plan, or sometimes they'll just send the plan over. That is horrible for somebody that doesn't understand training and nutrition. You are assuming way too much knowledge. So here is the better way to do it. Now, this takes slightly more time than the original way that I've just spoken about. However, it absolutely blows it out of the water and saves you so much work further down the line. So step one, application form. You need to get all of the details that you need about a client, what they eat, what times they eat on, when they exercise, how long they can spend, all of that good stuff that you'll need, okay? Then the second thing that I do is I do a 15-minute call with the client. And from there, I'm going to talk through any parts of the form that I'm unsure about in any way or anything that I need more clarity in. Usually people aren't brilliant at filling out forms, and what I don't want to do is build a whole plan off something where I've not got all of the information that I need. If you want to be super on top of it, you can just extend the call to 20 minutes and you can actually fill the form in with them on the call. But I've always found that just sending over a form generally gets you worse information than if you speak through the form with the client. You get much greater detail, a greater understanding of where they're at, and then also more information to help them. So then I'll go away and I'll build the plans, training, nutrition, lifestyle plans, whatever that looks like. And then I will have a second call with the client. This call is usually half an hour. And in that half an hour call, I will explain the nutrition plan, I will explain the training plan, and I will also show them how to use all the technology that I'm using. So if I'm using an app or if I'm using a certain kind of Google Sheet or whatever it is that you use, I want them to be crystal clear on a video call exactly how to use it. I do not want to get off that call until the client knows everything that they need to be doing to get results. There's also a back and forth dialogue over anything that needs changing in the nutrition plan or in the training plan. So we both have an agreement that this is the plan that we have come up with together and are able to move forward with. A couple of reasons that works so well. A, they take ownership of the plan because they've had a hand in actually adding some elements to it. So I used to actually write the skeleton of the diet plan, but really put it together with them on the call because they feel like they've picked all the foods and the meals that they want. So it's kind of bespoke to them. The second thing that I'll always do is just make sure that they can use the app. So I'll get them to log some things for me to make sure that everything's perfect on there, because what I don't want to do is waste the first 3 to 4 days of their coaching when getting buy-in is so important, setting out technological issues. Okay, so that is how I do my onboarding process. That is how I trained my staff to do onboarding process, and that's how I train my clients and their coaches that work in their businesses to do onboarding too. I've never ever seen a problem with this onboarding process with refunds, people feeling like they've not got what they paid for, or people feeling like the plans aren't personalized enough, okay? So if you put your client service as one of the forefronts of the things that you do, making this change to your onboarding is something I would massively recommend. Second thing, client communication. Let's get out of this idea that as fitness coaches, once a week is enough. Once a week for a habit that is not formed, that is alien to the person, that they need lots of accountability on, is not enough. If somebody fucks up their diet on a Tuesday and then their check-in day is on a Saturday, what the fuck do you think they're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? They're going to continue to be off the rails because they've already fucked it. If your client communication is limited to one time a week in 15 or 20 minutes, that is a terrible way for people to receive feedback and also to learn. What I prefer to do is, instead of doing long 20, 25-minute check-ins, I will do shorter 5-minute pieces of feedback every single day with my clients. So I will look over their food diary, I will look over their training progress, I will look over their habits, and I will make sure on a daily basis they are doing the things that they need to do. Why? Because reinforcing habits daily and educating people in small chunks very frequently is way more efficient than trying to teach them everything that they've done wrong all week in one go. First thing, nobody wants to listen to you fucking ramble on for 10 minutes. The second thing is, people will not retain all of that information that is blurted out to them on a video and implement it the next week. So what you find is, when you do daily feedback, people will pick up things faster, they will implement faster, and they will ingrain habits faster. If you stick to the once a week, not only are you creating this massive job for you to do every week, which causes you full of dread and needs like 2 days to get done, you actually just get a much smoother process for everyone involved, and your client communication becomes part of your daily practice. Now, once a week, what I will do is I'll go through the week's worth of data on average, and I will make changes to the program based on the weekly averages. But that takes me 5 minutes. It's a quick explanation to the client based off the conversations that we've had all week. And then it doesn't turn my check-ins into this massive mammoth task. So again, that more comes from my background in education, that I know full well that sending someone a 15-minute video with lots of things to implement on it is going to be useless, and that 5-minute single chunks, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, is going to be much better for them to learn and implement. Okay, and the final thing is coaching calls. Just because you program people online doesn't mean that a back and forth dialogue isn't effective to have. And I would at least do this once a month with all of my clients, where I will look at their goals and the outcome that they signed up to achieve. Because they signed up to get a particular outcome. They wanted a particular result, usually by a particular time. And what I need to do is, every month I almost need to give them a review on how their current actions are affecting the timeline that they've got here. If they are performing extremely well, this timeline might be even shorter. If they are performing poorly and they're not sticking to the plan and they're not continuing the behaviors that they said they were going to do, the consequence for them is that this timeline is going to become longer. It's going to prolong the dieting process. It's almost going to prolong the restriction that they're going to put themselves under. And I am going to continually remind them of that timeline as they go forward, okay? It is not a good idea to just hammer your clients with, you need to stick to the plan, you need to stick to the plan. Everything that I've ever learned with educating and motivating someone to do something, remember that I taught children physics, which in inner city Manchester schools isn't really the subject that they want to be doing. But my goal was to look at actions and consequences. If you complete these actions that you said you were going to do, the rewards are going to be this. If you don't complete these actions, the consequences are this. And this is what's going to happen to your timeline that you said you wanted to achieve if you continue with these behaviors. Do you want to continue down this road, or do you want to continue down this road? And that's what a lot of the coaching calls become. It becomes asking the right questions, talking about consequences and, rewards of the certain actions that they could take, and letting them come to their own conclusion about the things that they want to do in order to move forward. Remember, as a personal trainer, you are not going to be able to force people to do things that they don't want to do. They have got to decide that they want to do it of their own accord. You've just got to realign them with the goals that they said they wanted to achieve. So making sure you have a slick onboarding process, making sure your client communication is done frequently in small bouts of information that they can take and implement, doing a weekly assessment of the whole week, and then doing a monthly coaching call is pretty much the gold standard of what a standardized client should be expecting from an online coaching service. Now, if you are dealing with specialist populations, people that, have bigger issues, maybe they've got more mental things that they need to very shit with food stuff, then you might need to do something slightly differently. But for your bog standard general population, I want to look better, feel fitter, get stronger, this coaching process is yet to be beaten, in my opinion. So hopefully that is helpful. We can help you install this into your business, give you our templates of exactly how you should coach this process, and then take that 5-star coaching process and help you get more clients so you can make more money for yourself and change more people's lives. If you want our help in doing so, just click the link below, book in a free 15-minute call where my team are going to go through your business currently. They're going to go through the things that you want to achieve with your business, and then we'll give you some actionable advice about next steps. If that's working with us, great. If it's looking for some free resources or other YouTube videos that are useful for you in your situation, then we'll do that too, okay? So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to book your call below.